between each of these groups and the system sovereign. These unique assemblages occur on the Sea of Glass, the great gathering field of the system capital. They are purely social and spiritual occasions, nothing pertaining to the planetary administration or even to the Ascendant Plan is ever discussed. Ascending mortals come together at these times merely to enjoy themselves and to meet their fellow Jerusamites. Those groups which are not being entertained by the sovereign at these weekly relaxations meet at their own headquarters. 3. The system government. The chief executive of a local system, the system sovereign, is always supported by 2 or 3 Lanonandek sons who function as first and second assistants. But at the present time the system of Satania is administered by a staff of 7 Lanonandeks. 1. The system sovereign, Lanaforge, number 2709 of the primary order, and successor to the apostate Lucifer. 2. The first assistant sovereign, Mansurosha, number 17,841 of the tertiary Lanonandeks. He was dispatched to Satania along with Lanaforge. 3. The second assistant sovereign, Sadib, number 271,402 of the tertiary order. Sadib also came to Satania with Lanaforge. 4. The custodian of the system, Holdant, number 19 of the tertiary corps, the holder and controller of all interned spirits above the order of mortal existence. Holdant likewise came to Satania with Lanaforge. 5. The system recorder, Vilton, secretary of the Lanonandek Ministry of Satania, number 374 of the third order. Vilton was a member of the original Lanaforge group. 6. The bestowal director, Fortant, number 319,847 of the reserves of the secondary Lanonandeks, and temporary director of all universe activities transplanted to Jerusalem since Michael's bestowal on Urantia. Fortant has been attached to the staff of Lanaforge for 1900 years of Urantia time. 7. The High Counselor, Hanavard, number 67 of the primary Lanonandek sons, and a member of the High Corps of Universe Counselors and Coordinators. He functions as acting chairman of the Executive Council of Satania. Hanavard is the 12th of this order so to serve on Jerusalem since the Lucifer Rebellion. This executive group of 7 Lanonandeks constitutes the expanded emergency administration made necessary by the exigencies of the Lucifer Rebellion. There are only minor courts on Jerusalem, since the system is the unit of administration, not adjudication, but the Lanonandek administration is supported by the Jerusalem Executive Council, the supreme advisory body of Satania. This council consists of 12 members. 1. Hanavard, the Lanonandek chairman. 2. Lanaforge, the system sovereign. 3. Mansurosha, the first assistant sovereign. 4. The chief of Satania Melchizedeks. 5. The acting director of the Satania Life Carriers. 6. The chief of the Satania Finaliters. 7. The original Adam of Satania, the supervising head of the material sons. 8. The director of the Satania Seraphic Hosts. 9. The chief of the Satania Physical Controllers. 10. The director of the System Urantia Power Supervisors. 11. The acting director of System Midway Creatures. 12. The acting head of the Corps of Ascending Mortals. This council periodically chooses 3 members to represent the local system on the Supreme Council at Universe Headquarters, but this representation is suspended by rebellion. Satania now has an observer at the headquarters of the local universe, but since the bestowal of Michael, the system has resumed the election of 10 members to the Adentia legislature. 4. The 4 and 20 Counselors. At the center of the 7 angelic residential circles on Jerusalem is located the headquarters of the Urantia Advisory Council, the 4 and 20 Counselors. John the Revelator called them the 4 and 20 Elders. And round about the throne were 4 and 20 seats, and upon the seats I saw 4 and 20 elders sitting, clothed in white raiment. The throne in the center of this group is the judgment seat of the presiding archangel, the throne of the resurrection roll call of mercy and justice for all Satania. This judgment seat has always been on Jerusalem, but the 24 surrounding seats were placed in position no more than 1900 years ago, soon after Christ Michael was elevated to the full sovereignty of Nebadon. These 24 counselors are his personal agents on Jerusalem, and they have authority to represent the Master Son in all matters concerning the roll calls of Satania and in many other phases of the scheme of mortal ascension on the isolated worlds of the system. They are the designated agents for executing the special requests of Gabriel and the unusual mandates of Michael. These 24 counselors have been recruited from the 8 Urantia races, and the last of this group were assembled at the time of the resurrection roll call of Michael 1900 years ago. This Urantia Advisory Council is made up of the following members. 1. Onagar, the mastermind of the pre-planetary Prince Age, who directed his fellows in the worship of the Breath Giver. 2. Mansant, the great teacher of the post-planetary Prince Age on Urantia, who pointed his fellows to the veneration of the Great Light. 3. Anamanalantan, a far-distant leader of the Red Man, and the one who directed his race from the worship of many gods to the veneration of the Great Spirit. 4. Orlandoff, a prince of the Blue Men, and their leader in the recognition of the divinity of the Supreme Chief. 5. Porshunta, the oracle of the extinct Orange race, and the leader of this people in the worship of the Great Teacher. 6. Singlangton, the first of the Yellow Men to teach and to lead his people in the worship of one truth instead of many. Thousands of years ago the Yellow Man knew of the one God. 7. Fantad, the leader of the Green Men from darkness and their leader in the worship of the one source of life. 8. Orvanon, the enlightener of the Indigo races and their leader in the one-time service of the God of Gods. 9. Adam, the discredited but rehabilitated planetary father of Urantia, a material son of God who was relegated to the likeness of mortal flesh, but who survived and was subsequently elevated to this position by the decree of Michael. 10. Eve, the mother of the violet race of Urantia, who suffered the penalty of default with her mate and was also rehabilitated with him and assigned to serve with this group of mortal survivors. 11. Enoch, the first of the mortals of Urantia to fuse with the Thought Adjuster during the mortal life in the flesh. 12. Moses, the emancipator of a remnant of the submerged violet race and the instigator of the revival of the worship of the Universal Father under the name of the God of Israel. 13. Elijah, a translated soul of brilliant spiritual achievement during the post-material Sun Age. 14. Makaventa Melchizedek, the only son of this order to bestow himself upon the Urantia races. While still numbered as a Melchizedek, he has become forever a minister of the Most High's, eternally assuming the assignment of service as a mortal ascender, having sojourned on Urantia in the likeness of mortal flesh at Salem in the days of Abraham. This Melchizedek has latterly been proclaimed Vicegerent Planetary Prince of Urantia, with headquarters on Jerusalem and authority to act in behalf of Michael, who is actually the planetary prince of the world whereon he experienced his terminal bestowal in human form. Notwithstanding this, Urantia is still supervised by successive resident governors-general, members of the 24 counselors. 15. John the Baptist, the forerunner of Michael's mission on Urantia and, in the flesh, distant cousin of the Son of Man. 16. 123 the First, the leader of the loyal Midway creatures in the service of Gabriel at the time of the Caligastia betrayal, elevated to this position by Michael soon after his entrance upon unconditioned sovereignty. These selected personalities are exempt from the ascension regime for the time being on Gabriel's request, and we have no idea how long they may serve in this capacity. Seats numbers